Hi Alex, thanks again for your time earlier. I just want to create a video for you and Frontier Law Group to show you how this would work for you, both the desktop and the mobile application version of Bilr. So in the mobile version, I'll get you credentials for that shortly. You start on this screen, would you like to record an activity? Let's say you do, you hop in. I think on the phone I create an example client with you. There you go, fictitious client or Bilr. They're both in there. Let's take one with existing matters. ABC Insurance. Let's pick a matter 47. I'm recording an invoice or a line item for that invoice with my voice. This is backed by Microsoft in the back end. You can do it with your voice or you can type it in with your iPhone touchpad, whatever's most easy for you. This works in the background. You've got a reasonably straightforward accent. I'm not sure what your accent is, but it would work with this for sure. We've tried it with a bunch of different accents. We've tried it in busy airports, in cabs, things like that. So this works still in tough background environments. You can also just use your phone to write things in. So there you go. That was all hands-free. If I want to edit it, I can go in and play with things. Just regular way you'd pull up an item in your phone, and anything that's a spelling mistake would pop up in red. So just to prove that, just pick something that my phone won't try and autocorrect. Just say, okay, so there you go, clear example of a spelling mistake. So approve that line item, at least the description side. You don't really use code, so I'm not including codes in here. Units are tenths of an hour or 6 minutes, so 10 of those would be 1 hour. Attachments is just simple file storage like we talked about. These would be seen as associated with individual line items of those matters, but in the future version as discussed, that would be something that will be standalone. So this would probably be a legal document from taking a picture, just an example of how that works. So this was for matter 47. Once I'm happy with that, I'll click submit and it'll be uploaded to my web app. The same one I'm showing on my screen here. If I didn't want to record an activity right away, so activity is a legal expense is just a general item. So to your point, taxis, other sorts of disbursements. You can look at the history of what we've just done, pull it up for the matter. I could look by client, use the search bar, same thing for matters. Again, this is a demo site, so if you've got maybe a more descriptive version of matter, that would probably help you on the search feature. As you said, time is money with billing, so we want to get it over quickly. Matter details, you could pull that up. For example, let's look at the one we were just in, matter 47. So client number, claim number, practice area, currency. I can see the associated documents if I wanted to. And document list is similar idea. By matter, you can pull up what you were just working on. Also search it. So I took a picture on May 4th, which is today, 5:38. So that's the bulk of what you'd use the phone for. You can also look at how your billings are going so far. This is my phone, so I do get personal messages. It doesn't have to be a company phone. It works on Android and iPhone. And then this is basically all the other features that you can look at here. So mostly history, detail, settings that have to do with codes. You don't use code, so I turned that off for you. It's like time zone. You have notifications on to let you know you need to record time. So let's look at the desktop version now. So to record something in the desktop version, let's pretend we just started here. First of all, it's probably worth noting that what I just did was pulled up. What you'll notice in Activity Tracker, if I'm starting out recording time from this point of view, this little question mark means missing codes. Not relevant to you guys because you don't use codes, so I could turn that off in settings. But if you wanted to suggest a code, you would just use predict codes, but not relevant, so I won't waste your time with it. Record activity, so matter 47. This is me just typing it in. Because they're all the same name, I have to hit M a bunch of times. All I have to do once I've pulled up matter 47, it knows it's associated with ABC Insurance, so I don't have to do that detail. All it's going to ask me to do is do codes. Again, I'll turn that off in settings for you guys once you go live. Support documentation if you want to do that. Let's say I spent 3 hours. in this case, in the desktop, it's going to assume hourly rate, 675. It's possible actually that I select hourly rate for this client as well. Example, description. So that was it from start to finish for one line in this particular matter for this particular client. So it's been included, those 3 units. This was the matter I did on my phone. That same image is attached here. Like that if I wanted to. Just save it there. Just wait for a moment. If I want to make any changes, I can jump in. Everything I just did with my phone, you can see in here. That's the image that I took. You can update if you want. Again, not relevant to you guys, so we're going to go quickly through the codes. Do 7 hours. Update activity. Queue. So both of those are in matter 47. So that was an example on the desktop and the mobile app of recording a line item or part of an invoice. If you want to record just a general expense, you flip over to expense, record the expense, same thing, choose the matter. For me, if I had a specific name for it, I would just pull that up with my keypad. Taxi to the client's office. Today, 1. Let's say this was a $32 cab, doesn't really matter. Any type of currency. Again, we'll turn up codes for you. Put that expense. That's how you do it. So that's basically just getting it in. Once you want to send an invoice, you would pull up that matter. Same process. So I just hit the create/submit an invoice button. I'd go to matter 47. You can see I've already submitted something against this matter. You can see the budget. We can play with that. Got the Frontier logo up here, the icon. These red flags are your billing guidelines. You can turn it off if you want, but it catches basic things like duplicates. In this case, read, evaluate, and respond. It thinks it's a duplicate. I'm not seeing anything in here that looks like it could be a duplicate, so I'm going to say ignore that. Yep. So this is machine learning, and sometimes it's slightly off, but for the majority of times it does catch things that you wouldn't want going out to clients. Save and export. Post PDF. Group. Invoice, or invoice example. Save that down. It's more so for your records. Once you've exported it, or you're telling the system that you're ready to go, you're in your invoice history, or it'll take you automatically to your invoice history. Now you don't have to send anything from here if you don't want to. You can, but you can just leave it there for the sake of time tracking. If I want to send it, I can select all matters relevant for my matter 47. So I could either pull it up in the search bar up top here, or look here that these are the 2 invoices I want to have the client pay us. So in your case, if it's just having them pay you via check, I'd probably export it to just PDF and then send that to them as an email. Given that this one, the one I just made, hasn't been sent yet, I can still edit it. So let's say, so you can come in here and edit the invoice if you're not happy with it for whatever reason. Let's say you're happy. So let's go down to submitting this invoice. So I would pretty simply pull up my financials, see the relevant invoice, record it manually. All that requires is you just to select the date that you were paid when you submitted it, how you got paid, so like ACH or card, your bank account, which you can include in your settings if you want to do that. Reference number, if there's a transaction ID, for example, that's a common one. Attach files or receipt. So, okay, so once you've received payment, you can record it. And that will most likely be in your financial history. So it's out of financials now that it's being paid. It's one tab down. So once you've send that off to the client or mark it as paid. You can send that via LawPay or PayPal, depending on what's relevant for you. You'll see it in your financial history. This is just a way for you to track how you're being paid. Reports is a good overview of the firm. Again, these are just example charts. If there's data that you think you'd like to be shown in a specific way, let us know what that is. We can set this up for you. In this case, we basically have how many hours are you billing against how many hours are you working. So you can compare specific people. You and the managing partner could compare each other, see how you're doing. Again, these are just not apples to apples because they're different users. You can set that type up of a user role or title in system settings. This is another example. So if any of these strike you as relevant, you can leave them. But if you'd like something specific to you that's in there in terms of, okay, the actual amount of me being paid is there, but it's not shown in a way I'd rather have it shown as amount by client, for example, as a bar chart or pie chart over time, we can do that as well. So those are all options. I hope that's helpful. Dashboard we can customize as well, kind of similar to reports here. We've got what's important for this particular lawyer in here, which is how many matters do I have open for each client, how many matters do I have by practice areas. I clearly need to do better on my accruals, and we'll set those up with color codes based on your goals. So I've got no invoices to approve or review rather because I haven't submitted any, given this user is a partner in this firm, example firm. But if I did, you'd have invoices to review. You click into that, you could go approve that if you wanted to have a prior look before they were sent out to the client. Each of these have little eyes next to them, which will tell you more about them. Happy to share more detail on any of this. Hope it was helpful. Thanks so much again for your time today. Please don't hesitate to reach out with questions. We'll get you some new credentials. Anything that's confusing to you, let us know. If you want to look at anything in particular in the new designs and you see an opportunity for it to be tweaked, or it's not the way you think could be optimal for the way you'll do it, let us know, because there's a good chance that will be the case for many folks. And as said, we're a SaaS platform, so we can actually make it custom to you and it wouldn't necessarily affect everyone. So happy to incorporate your specific changes there. Great, Alex. Thanks so much for your time and best of luck to Frontier Law Group. Take care.